Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to that podcast on YouTube. And y'all remember I think it was earlier this year. Well, let's just say 2020. I think it went up. Might have been 2019. I talked about how I've been looking for issues of Team Anarchy forever. And yes, I know I can go online to Mile High or my comic shop and get them, but man, I like those. I like those sources being available, but I don't want to pay $3 to $4 for these comics. Not for anything from Dagger. And I'll go a little history of Dagger. Dagger was an Alabama-based company that somehow, and I talking people on, it must have only been in Mississippi, Alabama. They got newsstand, they got non-comic shop direct market distribution in those two states. Because I can remember there was a grocery store, doesn't exist anymore, thankfully. This place was like, it's one of them nasty grocery stores where unless the stuff was already packaged when you got there, you didn't want to touch it. I had plenty of friends that worked there, and they told me some horror stories. It was called Public Warehouse. And I remember seeing Dagger Comics on their little newsstand. They had a great newsstand for comics. So what we got here is, this is Team Anarchy issue 2. And I found this recently. If you go back and look, I did a early November comic haul or something like that. And that's when I picked it up. Comic Commander up in Ridgeland, Mississippi, I think is where it actually is. And the reason I grabbed this is, it's been an inside joke between me and a buddy of mine for quite a few years now that he is the writer of Team Anarchy. I used to do a comic strip called Pezville. Pez with 2 Z's. And it was just me taking pictures and adding word balloons and effects and shit of the Pez in its comic strip style. They all lived in the town of Pezville. Well, had this one Pez that kind of looked like my buddy. It was one of the smiley Pez. He had glasses, a little tiny like him. So, my buddy, I'm not going to say his real name. I always jokingly refer to him as Lord Fanboy. His online handle for a long time was Lord Hatred. I'm like, nah, dude, you're Lord Fanboy. You rule over all the fanboys. He's a huge comic geek. Well, the joke in Pezville was that he ran the comic shop, Fanboys Funhouse, if I remember right, is what I called it. And people always rag on me like, man, fuck you, I wrote Team Anarchy. And nobody knew what the fuck it was. And when I told him, he's like, man, what the fuck is Team? And I told the actual person's face, and he's like, what the fuck is Team Anarchy? So I explained it to him, and he's like, oh, okay, yeah. I don't remember that. Well, I'm digging through the cheap bins here. Comic Commander, there's the cover. November. I'm going to get the year in a second. You see the art ain't great, but look at it. It is signed by Robbie something. Take this out. We're going to give a little look. Might even do a quick read through. Excuse me. Creator and penciler Mark Schmidt. Inker Robert Goller. Colorist is Mike Daenerys. Editor Mike Daenerys. Editors John Anderson and Ronnie Jenkins. Technical support Robert Dole. 1993. Do they list where they're based out? It does not. November 93, so. Yeah, it's just typical, 90s image glut, comic glut stuff. Finally, I understand. Hope Center Alpha 5, Newark, 3082. For a long time, we hid Darren Owen strike out at Cortec and hit and run missions with little or no effect, but this is something real. We just liberated a Hope Center, the politically correct term for a mutant concentration camp. I understand now this is what it takes to win. The beginning of the end. And see the art, I mean, it's not great. Like this, I always wonder how this woman's shirt stays up. Like this guy right here, the anatomy's way off, or like this guy. Like, okay, this guy right here. You got the pads, but he's got these little silver thingies. It's like the belt I get, but why are they all around the arm? Almost like a tourniquet. And it's set in the future. They're warring against the evil government. Who's ran by Cortec. Let's see how bad this art is. The story is actually not bad. This is one of those where, and this is the only second issue I've read of Team Anarchy. This is one of those where the story's not a bad thing. If you got a competent artist on this, back then it probably sold decently just because, the comic boom, but you get competent artists on it, this might actually last. It's kind of like from Triumph Comics, their Chromium Man. Great story, art, not real good. Adam Pauline is probably the best stuff. And then we have Rich Leach, artist for Dagger Comics Mavericks, brings you a book on how to create a really fantastic comic art. Yeah, this guy's going to show me how to write. You can get it for $9.95 plus $2.50 shipping and handling, and add $3 for an autograph copy. I've never seen a copy of this book at all, anywhere. Anybody out there knows if it exists, please let me know. There's a lot of headshots, not a lot of full body shots. That's just one of those, comics. I don't think there's that many issues. Matter of fact, you know what? Give me a second. I'm going to go look that up. And I'm going to walk over to I got my laptop set up in a different part of the room. You'll still be able to hear me. I'm going to look up Team Anarchy real quick. Just how many issues, see how many more I got to get. So we can go to mycomicshop.com. You don't know what My Comic Shop is. Basically, back in the day, there was a huge chain out in Texas called Lone Star Comics. And this was the online arm of them. And I don't think any of their stores exist anymore. Okay, no, didn't get that way. But their online store's pretty good. Come on, baby. I look for Dagger Comics. Oh, I'm sorry about this. Hopefully you can hear me good. I'm talking loud. I'm still not used to how the mic is on this new, And everybody out there, how do y'all like, the new filming? I thought it looks a lot better. It ain't shaky, which thank you. I'm sorry about the shakiness. One of the medications I take causes hand tremors. Dagger Enterprises? Yeah, it is. Okay, so Team Anarchy actually had 8 issues. Wow. 8 issues total, and there's quite a few different variants and all that stuff. Let me see. Oh, I like the issue 4. Okay, 8 issues. Oh, Rick. Okay. So there was 8 issues. That's all the way to June of '94, and it's one where I'm kind of surprised. It doesn't get a little bit more attention. I mean, the art just needs a little polish like that. That guy's head just a little, that guy right there, a little too big of a head. But, just a fun little comic that, like I said, nobody ever mentions. And then, like I mentioned, when I was talking about this last time, this woman right here, look at, they must have, spirit gum on her breast to hold that on there. I ever see an outfit like that, I call it skeetering. Just because this will date me and definitely say where I grew up. The old show Mama's Family. Y'all remember Mama's Family if you're the right age and you grew up in the South. It aired constantly. Vince's wife, Naomi, wore her dress with the shoulders down, shoulders down like that. He called her Skeeter. I always wondered why he called her Skeeter. Remember, I'm going to throw this in there. Shout out to my buddy Millhouse. Woo! Big buddy House. Back in the day, this was quite a few years ago, we were just joking around one night. We're sitting there bullshitting on Messenger. We're talking about just how they're doing porn parodies of everything. And we're coming up with titles, and one of them we came up with, This Ain't Mama's Family, an XXX parody. There's a reason I call her Skeeter, Mama. Oh, look at that big 2-page spread that just looks like ass. And why's this big gap at the bottom? I mean... Just a little bit. I know it's kind of little nitpicky things, but and see this one you can get coupons. Okay, you send it in and get Dagger Universe. Oh, there's a 1-800 number. I'm tempted to call that right now and see what happens. I might do that in a second. You know what? Give me a second. I'm gonna pause this. I'm calling it right now, y'all. 1-800-2-DAGGER. Getting a busy signal. Okay, well, it's still active then. It ain't going to be Dagger, though. Scorpion Core, the Mavericks, Team Anarchy. The Dagger Force trading card set. Don't think they ever came out. Create a comic. There's Team Anarchy issue 3 cover. Scorpion Core. And this is, there's so many of these. This is the Mavericks. This actually had the best looking art to me. There's so many of these comics out there. We guarantee limited production for every issue. Well, it ain't too limited because I'm finding them in the cheap bins. But there's so many, so many of these comics out there like this that just needs a little polish. And that's why I kind of like highlighting those channels. Comics need a little polish, and this is definitely one of them. I was happy. At the comic shop, Comic Commander. I think I mentioned this in the pickup video. I'll say it here because not everybody watched that one. Went with 3 friends of mine. It was a buddy of mine, his girlfriend, his younger brother. Because I have trouble driving in traffic, especially in areas I don't know well. I don't know Ridgeland at all. It's one of those kind of white flight suburbs of Jackson. And he told me, he's like, man, they got cheap bins. Lots and lots of cheap bins. Now, the rest of them were there looking at DVDs and toys. I walked in. I saw the cheap bins were at the very back. I saw the guy running who found out later on ain't much older than me. I was like, old guy, but we're not that far apart in age. I walked to the back, and I saw on the floor 6 or 7 bins that said Indie Comics, and one said Vertigo. I'm like, this is where I need to be. And I'm digging through them, and I'm making a little stack next to me. And I told myself, all right, it's $1 a comic. Get 30 comics. I don't want to spend over, a little bit over $30 because I knew we were also going a bunch of other places the day I was eating out that day. I was trying to budget my money. Well, I'm doing good. And I was like, oh, I got Team Anarchy #2. And my buddy that I joke about wrote this. I almost called him right there. But I was like, man, I looked at the time. I was like, he's at work still. I don't want to bug him at work. And I've jokingly told him I'm going to get issue 1 and send this issue 2 up to him and get him to sign them just as a joke. But yeah, that's Team Anarchy. Lord Fanboy, Lord Hatred. Stefan, I'm just going to say your first name, sir. Stefan. There's your book, man. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed that. Remember, if you did, give me that thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, all the other bullshit. Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.